Hello, this is Megha Singh from IIT's DAVV. This tutorial is about Cloudify. Cloudify is an open source software cloud and NFV orchestration product originally created by Gigaspaces Technologies and then spun off into its own company. And Cloudify uses OASIS TOSA technology and is written in Python programming language. And for more details, you can visit Wikipedia page. Here I am at the official website of Cloudify, cloudify.com. So here take a look at what is Cloudify Labs, and let's get started. Click on the get started button, and here you can see learn section and deploy section. So Cloudify provides a 60-day free trial that you can take if you want. So click on the 60-day free trial. This section requires a registration, and you can register, but registration requires email address of your company. So if you work in a company, then you can directly register. So here what is Cloudify Labs? So with Cloudify Labs, you get fully functional Cloudify manager in an OpenStack private cloud environment, and inside the manager you will be able to browse the blueprint catalog and deploy different applications in your lab. Once deployed, you will be able to see the results in the Cloudify manager dashboard. You will also be able to upload your own blueprints and try them out in the lab. Cloudify Composer will be accessible for you to create your own blueprints graphically and upload them directly in the Cloudify manager. You have full access to the underlying infrastructure within your lab as well, and can browse your instances and review the created objects. So let's launch the lab. So this screen appears, and click on the launch lab. This requires your name and email ID. I'm inserting my name and email address. Click on the create lab and get unique URL, and URL will be sent on your email address that you have provided. So go through your Gmail or your email address. Here's the mail. Click on that. Click on the link of they have given for your lab. Here's the lab overview and lab output. So you can watch it here. Click on the lab outputs, and here you can see they provide Cloudify manager credentials and Cloudify manager link. So if you register for the Cloudify manager or you take 60-day free trial or something, then your link for Cloudify. Let's have a look at how this is done in Cloudify manager. Log into the Cloudify manager using admin for both the login and password. This is the dashboard of manager with an overview of what's installed. Currently there are 0 deployments, 9 plugins pre-configured and 0 nodes installed. Let's start by browsing the blueprint catalog and choose a blueprint to run in the lab. Click upload and provide a blueprint name. Since the lab is running on OpenStack, choose the OpenStack. Next, click upload and the blueprint will be accessible in the local blueprint section. You can click into the blueprint and review its topology as well as browse the blueprint source further below. Next, click the create deployment button and give the deployment a name, then click the deploy button. You can now see your deployment in the deployment section. To install the application, click on menu to the right of deployment name and select install and then execute. This will run the install workflow on the blueprint and you will now see that the workflow has started. You can also view the logs created during the process. Within a few minutes, the install workflow will be complete. You can now view the web application using the IP address noted in the deployment outputs window. You can now view the web application Cloudify UI 4 tutorial. The main concept behind the Cloudify UI framework is to display a catalog of different components, each showing a specific scope of data, and allow users to build their own personalized dashboard by combining the components that are most relevant to their deployments and control them from a single pane of glass. We call these components widgets. Cloudify UI framework is built from templates. A template is a predefined set of pages where each page offers a view of specific aspects of the system. The pages and the way they are organized optimize the presentation of relevant data for the current user. They provide two out-of-box templates, one for Cloudify user who might want to run services from a catalog and manage them, and one for Siemens who orchestrate the environment and manage Cloudify settings. The building blocks of the UI framework are the widgets. The Cloudify UI comes with a catalog of out-of-the-box widgets which are designed to present different types of data in a variety of formats. They provide blueprints, deployments, and executions, views, plugins, and snapshot. It's monitoring graph and data regarding the user groups and tenants in the system and more. Catalog also contains graph actions, buttons, topology, and source views, and even widgets that retrieve data from external applications like GitHub. Edit mode. Edit mode allows the user to add more pages and customize them with a new widgets from the catalog. This option is always available for admins and can be made available to users if enabled by admin in the configuration settings. Is Cloudify, and what can Cloudify do for you? So what Cloudify is the operations lifecycle management tool. It has been designed for the cloud. As you can see, but it's really appropriate for anything. What it does is it manages the entire artifacts lifecycle of an entire deployment. Whenever you deploy an application, it normally depends on on application server and a database or something like that, maybe an operations platform in the case of cloud. What normally happens with that situation is you have someone who deploys an application server, someone who deploys a Oracle database or whatever. Then you have a database administrator go back and configure the database. Then you have an operations guy who takes your artifacts, your deploys into the application server in configures and figures Apache, so that is pointing to the application server and redirects everything. If there is a problem, then they have to call someone. You have to say, okay, is it the database or is it the application server, what's going on? And they call various people until they have figured out which component having the problem. Then that person comes in and they have to make sure availability is met. And it's really kind of a pain for everybody. The cloud makes it even worse because you normally have different levels of allocation. You have over allocation, under allocation, and different moving parts can fail. What Cloudify does is it takes all of that and does it for you. It actually can deploy your database and configure your database. It can install your application server, install Apache, and point everything to everything else, so that if something should go down, not only can it monitor it, your components and tell you about, but it can also make sure that they are up. If your database disappears, for example, it can not only notify you, but it can also install a new database for you, uh, if that is what you so desire. It can make sure your database is up and deployed to Intune, and your schema is up, and then it can tell your application. This was the intro video of Cloudify, and thank you for watching.